Good morning, David.
Now,
So,
one thing I've learned, Liz, whenever we chat, you should always have a pad of paper handy and a pen to write down some of your thoughts because um, you stay so up to date with market factors and changes. And every time I talk with you, I come away better educated and more informed than when we start the conversation. So I really look forward to this time.
I am a self-proclaimed data marketing nerd, so I've got spreadsheets on spreadsheets, but that's the best way to stay in tune with what's happening in the real estate market, is really understanding the data and the trends. So, with that said, we're here at the beginning of March, 2 months into the year, almost a year now into the pandemic. And the biggest question as realtors that we get is, hey, you're in real estate, how is the market? How do you answer that these days?
I say that it is more competitive than ever. It's tougher out there than ever. And if you're thinking about getting in, we should have a conversation so that you're prepared for what's out there right now. And I don't mean to scare people with that kind of information, but I just want them to be aware and have an accurate perspective on what's going on and what is involved in this crazy market that's happening right now.
Yeah. So when we say crazy, I kind of refer to it as bananas myself. Obviously it depends what your position is in the market. But the competition is really being driven by what high buyer demand and low inventory. And what would you say is driving that buyer demand? Maybe the top three things right now.
Well, for us, we're blessed with this incredible area. And there are some market factors that won't affect us here because of that, because we have the ocean and because of the lifestyle that's available here. And because of the combination of geological things that are here, like the mountains and the redwoods and the beach, and on and on it goes. So that's going to be a huge factor in just the
being the place that everybody wants to be.
yeah. So the demand is always going to be there, I think. The low interest rates have created a lot of competition. I was very surprised to read this morning that that all cash sales are actually down right now.
Right.
So I try to not be impacted by the frenzy that's going on out there right now, but it seemed to me that there were more all cash buyers out there than I've seen before, but the numbers say differently. So that was an interesting eye opener.
Right. Yeah. With the rates that low and the prices climbing, as high as they have, they've been over $1 million. The median price in Santa Cruz County has been over $1 million now for the better part of 6 months, 7 months now. A lot of those cash buyers are thinking, gosh, why wouldn't I finance with rates this low? And cash isn't, it's not winning the day anymore.
No, it's not. And I've seen a lot of offers. I've written some offers where we have tried to be competitive on the contingency side and having few to, I don't want to say zero, I haven't gone zero contingencies, but I know that's out there and people are trying to be competitive in that way. I don't recommend that at all. There are some circumstances that might warrant that, but again, I think it's part of that frenzy factor that people are doing things that are financially ill-advised, and certainly would be against my advice in terms of no physical contingency, for example, you can mitigate that contingency by having a home inspection and doing your own personal inspection. And if it's a new home, for example, then that's less important. But for older homes, to me, it's just asking for trouble unless you can just afford any potential repairs that might come up. So there's different circumstances, but it's tough to balance being competitive in this market with being smart and protecting your client from potential issues that might arise.
Right. Yeah. And I know there's, that buyer demand is being driven by, Santa Cruz being an amazing place to live, but we're seeing these trends just all across the country. Other agents that I talk to in Florida, Iowa, Arizona, it's the same story. These low interest rates are really driving demand and low inventory. But I think another part of the buyer demand is that I think there's this fear that, gosh, rates are going to rise and it's not going to be this great forever, right? So we better get in the market now.
Yeah, taking advantage of this window. So
yeah,
I would definitely agree.
Yeah. And so rates just went up above 3% last week, from what I was reading. What do you see the effects of that being?
Well, immediately it narrows the pool of qualified or the amount for which buyers can qualify. It tightens that a little bit, and the higher that rate goes, the tighter that effect will be. So we'll see where it goes. If there's going to be inflation, then the rate is bound to go higher. So now I'm not an economist, but I think we've been here before.
You can just play one on TV.
Yeah, that's right. I think we've been here before and can see some of the signs of inflation. I hope that's not the case, obviously. So to that issue, though, I think that in the past, when we are in a situation like this, where interest rates are starting to rise, in the past, like in 2007, when the housing bubble burst, there was massive change in the market, and the market temporarily just kind of seized until things sort of played themselves out. But now, in the lending world, the lenders after that were much more careful, and buyers had to actually qualify and actually demonstrate that they had income and could afford a home. So we shouldn't see the same kind of impact as we did in that market, where there were loans that were stated income, and the lender just kind of had to believe what you told them, and we saw the results of that.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that side of things has been mitigated, and so we won't see the same negative impact that occurred from that.
Right. Absolutely.
From those types of loans.
And, as rates start to go up, I think in the short term, I think a lot of the buyers who've been on the fence are going to think, oh my gosh, we missed the boat. We need to get in the market and buy now while we can, and while rates are kind of at this level. And, so that'll spur more buyer activity and increased demand, I think. But at the same time, sellers are going to see that and go, oh my goodness, there's going to be less buyers. And as the rates go up, their purchasing power goes down. What's going to happen to the price of my home? It's probably going to start going down. So I think, the buyer demand to the listings, the ratio could stay the same for a little while.
Yeah.
But I'm having conversations with prospective sellers who are thinking, I think now is the time. I think we're likely getting close to the top of that roller coaster.
Yes, and it's a normal market adjustment, right? I mean, the market ebbs and flows with the general trend being upward. So it isn't really a surprise. And we've had a great period of time where all of these factors aligned very nicely for the market. So, so do you think that property values around here will decrease, or do you think they just won't increase as quickly
I don't
or as
see them.
much?
Yeah, I don't see them decreasing anytime soon. I think it would have to be a
I
big
don't either.
market correction. I think
Yes.
we'll see a deceleration in values going up. Month over month, or sorry, year over year, the February median price rose 15%. So it was 900,000 in the county in February of 2020, and we clocked in at 1,052,000
Mhm.
in February of this year.
Now, another good indicator that I read about recently is that distressed sales hit a 15-year low. So again, I think that goes back to the buyers having to actually qualify for their loans. And even though with the pandemic, unemployment hit a major high, still these homeowners not affected by that as much. They're not losing their homes as much. And
Right. Well, they moved. They kind of updated the forbearance kind of rules. Right. It used to be
that's
that
right.
everything you didn't pay was due. Now, and they've moved that to the end of the term of the loan.
Yes. So it's become more of a modification.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, what is your advice right now for buyers in the market? I mean, obviously it depends what kind of buyer they are, but say if
Sure.
you're, family of 3 or 4, either looking for their first home or to move up or downsize.
Well, definitely as much as it's possible, um, because of the amount of competition in this market, try not to fall in love with a home and get yourself in an emotional position where you feel like you have to have this home, because um, with all of the competition, the multiple offers, it's very likely your offer is not going to be accepted, unfortunately.
Well, unless you're
So
working with us.
yeah, well, we give you a better chance,
We
I
have a
think.
pretty good track record, but
Yes. So so try not to fall in love, because you'll get your heart broken potentially, and it makes the process emotionally untenable. And um, it doesn't need to be that way.
yeah. And I would point out that we're seeing those multiple offers, across the county, right? Everywhere from the west side up to Felton, Corralitos. I mean, every type of property, whether it's, an immaculate new construction or kind of a more rundown probate sale.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not just Santa Cruz County, it's California and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So,
so
the other thing is, not waiting to reach out to your realtor. If you see something that catches your eye, things are selling, within 3 days to a week, kind of on average.
yes.
And, even though a listing agent says, hey, we're reviewing offers next week, some offers come in that they just can't refuse, and off they go.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's something that we're really good about doing, is contacting that agent and talking with them and saying, look, are you really going to wait until the time that you have on the MLS to review offers? Or if you see an offer you can't refuse, are you going to take a look at it now? So so the communication with the other side is a huge benefit for our clients.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that success comes from working with an agent who is experienced and knows how to have those conversations. Obviously, working with a local lender who's a part of your team and can really go to bat for you. And, staying on top of the market. I think home buying right now is sort of a full-time job for families, right?
Yes. So so let us take that off of your plate as much as possible. Definitely it is teamwork, but that's what we do all day. That's our job. So so let us try to make the process as stress-free as possible. for you.
Yeah. And then, for sellers, I mean, this is, this is your time, right? The market doesn't get any better for a seller. I mean, certainly there's things that you can do to better position yourself and get top dollar as far as, some upgrades and things like that. But right now, I think minimal repairs are still fetching multiple offers and prices that are above the asking.
That real estate data analytics site that I've actually quoted a couple of times, it's called Atom, ATTOM. There's a quote there that in the annals of history, there will be few years recorded as better for sellers and more challenging for buyers, according to the chief product officer at Atom. So, so I think that is the word on the street, so to speak, is that this is a time unlike any other. I hesitate to say that because myself, because I've been a realtor only so long, but my professional career has always included real estate. So I've seen the market for a very long time. And I've never seen anything like the market that's happening now.
Yeah.
So
nobody could have seen this coming, last March.
No, not at all.
It's just incredible.
So so to that, I am very happy to be with Soul Property Advisors, because it is really a team approach. And that might sound cliche, but in this instance, it is the reality of it. I think we all are pulling for one another. We all share information with one another, and we make each other better agents and more effective for our clients.
Yeah.
So this is a great company that's really doing the best for our clients to get them, in touch with their dreams and in this crazy market.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, with the lender, it takes a village, and we really do have a whole team behind us. So, buyers who we're representing, they benefit from having so many eyes and ears and brains out there helping them, look for the one, which is good.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the market's going to be like this forever. I think the ship is maybe slowly starting to turn. But I think we're going to continue on this kind of, like I said, bananas market, just competitive buyer frenzy for a few more months at least.
Yes. And that turn of the ship is, it's okay. It maybe makes things more equitable for buyers, which it's been a seller's market for so long. Maybe a little balance will be a good thing for the market. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for chatting with me. I always love brainstorming what's going on out there and what, everybody else is seeing, and analyzing the numbers, and what you see with your clients is different than what I see with mine, and vice versa. So.
Yeah, thank you for your time and true to form. I've come away better informed than when we started the conversation,
well,
which I really appreciate.
Hopefully the folks who are watching have too. So, we'll be back at this next month. We love, running the numbers and seeing what's happening every few weeks. So if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, give us a like, and we'll stay connected and keep you in the know of what's going on.